Hey. Hello, everyone. 1 1 1 2. Yes. Um, okay. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to talk about Azure Durable Functions. And those of you who already have heard about it, does anyone heard about Durable Functions? Does anyone use it? Okay, not many people. But Azure Functions? Azure Functions, okay, more people. So they are really simple, and very intuitive. And we will see it in a moment for those who are not familiar with them. However, this simplicity of durable functions can give you an illusion that you understand deeply how it works, and that can lead to some poor performance and also confusion. And today we will actually see how they actually work, and probably it will save you some time in future if you will deal with them. We already talked about the serverless, what it is. Everyone knows that the serverless doesn't mean that we don't have servers. It's just an abstraction. We just don't deal with them. We don't bother with the servers. We don't update them, keep them running and scaling. And they also event-driven. If something happens, they just jump in, do some computing. If not resources used, we don't pay. It's very nice. When we talk specifically about Azure functions, there is a set of events that can trigger Azure functions, like HTTP request or time-based event, or something comes from Microsoft Graph. And then our piece of code can react on it, and not only react on it, but also change another part of our system. For example, it can set a push notification or create some record in DB. However, there are still some challenges when you architecture serverless application using Azure functions. For example, if we have one function that does some processing, and we want to fan out these results to other functions, there are no such triggers in Azure that would fire another function with our parameters. What we most likely end up doing is creating another HTTP trigger or put messages into queue, and other functions will react on the message in the queue. But what if we want to gather these results from the function and process them in another function simultaneously, altogether? What can we do with the existing triggers, which are like reduced? How we can achieve this is it's not trivial. The set of available triggers, most likely you end up managing a lot of queues and topics, storages, and writing some boilerplate code like crazy, but you don't like it. Yes, it's like, but luckily we have durable functions. Tadam! They could help this. What they do in essence, they simplify orchestration of the functions. Serverless functions. So what it does, it just make sure that all the functions play nicely together in synchronized way, and also workflow can be defined in code. It gives some benefits that you can see everything, the whole workflow in your source control, and you don't need to go to some dashboard in, I don't know, like in AWS, for example, somewhere. So it's easier to understand what happens. And one of the key features, it's 100% reliable, so progress is not lost even if virtual machine is restarting, for example. So how it would solve this problem? So what we get now with durable extensions, we get 2 additional triggers. One is orchestration trigger and another one is activity trigger. And all these functions now become activities. And there come another one, which is orchestrator. Now what will happen is that orchestrator will contact with all these functions, and so it will get the results of the first function, and then it will distribute it to the functions in the middle, get the results from them, and then send all the results to the function that is on the right side.
Sorry, you didn't tell that. May I interrupt you, or?
Sure, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So, what about ordering? So maybe you want something before another result. So you call these functions.
Yeah. So well, the order here we want to call first. The first function is triggered. For example, it can be HTTP request or message in the queue or some other events that are supported. And then we want to do some processing, and then we want to distribute the results to send it to different functions, and they should simultaneously process them. Then we want to gather these results and process in another function. Mm-hmm. So there is a sequence, this flow, and this flow can be resolved by orchestrator. So now we can program this flow in orchestrator inside in one function. So we will call one function, then we gather the results. That's demo coding coming in, so I can just show you. But before we go into coding, I probably should tell you what we go into code. So the idea is to put Azure Durable Functions under the heavy load and see what are the constraints and how it can handle something, some really some severe processing stuff like image processing. So for example, what I did, spoilers. Okay, I have so on that side. Okay, so what I have here is increase the font. Look how
Same on that. Just win.
Okay, what we will do, we just take this open source image processing stuff and try to put it in a serverless environment. What this project does,
It's a bit more complex than Hello World, I guess.
it's more complex than Hello World, but before we start, what this project does, it has, for example, we have an image with this guy. Come here. So when we want to remove them from here.